Today we look the buffer amplifier. A buffer amplifier circuit diagram. We shown this the picture. So, or today our topics are buffer amplifier. So we know buffer amplifier is a stage of amplification that isolate the preceding stage from the following stage because of the high input impedance and low output impedance. A ZFET can act as excellent buffer amplifier. The high input impedance ZFET means light loading of the preceding stage. The permit almost the entry output from stage to appear at the buffer input. The low output impedance of ZFET can drive heavy load for small load resistance. They ensure that all output from the buffer reach input of the second stage. So look this capacitor 1, capacitor 2 and capacitor 3, and this resistance are 3 terminal and capacitor have 3 terminal. We write this R1, R2 and R3 and C1, C2, C3, and these are series capacitor and the series resistance, and these are load resistance, and then these are VDD and these are output. So the amplifier first stage and buffer stage, and then the buffer stage, and then the second stage. Buffer amplifier can be high and low impedance. In high impedance to high input impedance, and secondly buffer impedance, low output impedance. So we know the first stage, and then buffer, and then second stage. And buffer can be one high and these are low. So high impedance and low impedance. High its input and these are output. So the phase oscillator, the oscillator discussed in the chapter 14 will also work with ZFETs. However, the high input impedance of the ZFET is especially valuable in phase shift oscillators to minimize the loading effect. And this phase shift oscillator using N-channel ZFET as RF amplifier is communication electronics. We have to use ZFET RF amplifier in the receiver instant BJT amplifier for the following reason. The noise level ZFET is very low. The ZFET will not generate significant amount of the noise is those useful as RF amplifier. The antenna of the receiver very weak signal an extremely low amount of the current. Since ZFET is voltage control device, it will well respond to low current signal provided by the antenna. The manner depletion type MOSFET or DMOSFET, and they are certainly proper operation of the device, and their a field effect transistor that can be operated in the enhancement mode of called MOSFET. However, a MOSFET has several advantages over ZFET, including high input impedance and low cost of the production. So the ZFET will not generate the significant amount of noise and the useful of the radio frequency amplifier, and this shown the picture, and the control their weak signal then extremely low amount of the controlled device, and this provide a get by the antenna.